How we doing, everybody?
Hey, Coach, how are you?
Hanging in there.
Uh, after getting to review things and kind of look at the game from yesterday, you mentioned how proud you were after the game. How are you feeling this morning?
No less proud. Watching the film and watching our guys kind of battle back in that second half was was really a proud moment to watch. Quite frankly, just looking for ways to win that game at the end. The sideline was great. The effort was outstanding, and like I said yesterday, just fell one play short.
Within the last week, you were able to push it till I guess Friday or so before you were able to make a decision on quarterback. Will you be able to push it that far this week, or do you anticipate pushing it as far as you can?
Well, I think John, with the situation with the way Derek is right now, that really is the reason we would take it day to day right now, week to week. We do get the extra day this week because of the Monday night game. So we'll wait and see what's going on with Derek's situation first, and then kind of go from there. So yeah, there's really no reason to declare anybody a starter at the moment. Naturally, if Derek can get through the injury situation and get out there and start practicing and at a regular pace, then that'll certainly factor in. But if you can't, then obviously we'll have to have plan B.
How will you handle the scheduling this week with the bonus day?
Yeah, I think what we're going to do is we gave the guys a bonus day off, today and tomorrow, and then we'll come in Wednesday, and we'll do a Monday slash kind of Wednesday schedule. On Wednesday, probably more of a walkthrough, and then Thursday, Friday, Saturday will kind of be our three normal practice days that we normally have.
Darren, did you guys ever get to the point where you tried to evaluate if Derek's hand was good enough, or the concussion protocol kind of prevented you from ever even deciding if he was cleared to practice with the hand injury last week?
Well, it's a little bit of a unique equation because the final step of the concussion protocol is a little bit of a formality in that anybody in the concussion protocol has to have a quote unquote practice, and so we didn't feel comfortable having Derek out there in a practice scenario. He just wasn't quite ready for that, and so by the letter of the law, he's still in he's got to complete that protocol. So the first time he practices, the expectation would be that he would clear the concussion protocol. So that's really not in my opinion, not the limiting factor at the moment.
So I know you don't want to put a specific timetable on it, but after evaluating the hand, did you at least reach the conclusion that it's just a matter of time, but you anticipate he will get a chance to play at some point before the season is over?
At this point, I would say he would get a chance to play at some point before the season's over. I don't think that's a reach. At the same time, his like any injury, it's improving. He's just not there quite yet.
Coach, have you gotten any update as to how Alvin Kamara is doing with the groin injury from yesterday?
A little bit, he's we got some imaging back. He's kind of dealing with a little bit of a groin adductor type of situation. It's something that it was very, very minor. I think he kind of felt it on that diving touchdown catch, which was outstanding, by the way. And so he's going to get a couple of more opinions, a couple more imaging things taken care of today. So we'll kind of see where he's at. At the moment, we kind of have the first set of images, and we're going to kind of see what happens here with the second set, second opinion, all that kind of thing.
But the expectation at this time you mentioned is that it's minor.
I'm not going to say whether it's major or minor. I'm just going to see I'm just going to leave it open ended right now. I'm going to kind of see where we're at with the rest of it. So I don't want to make any big medical announcements at the moment.
Gotcha. Were you all close at all to seeing Tono passing you out on the field yesterday?
Yeah, that's why we brought him to the 53-man roster. I thought Tono really had a good week of practice, and it really just came down to more of the game plan. Why he wasn't active for the game. It's why he was inactive, but right up literally to the last moment before we had to announce the inactives. We were in discussions about, who gave us the best chance on the 48, 49 man game roster. So that's, we were making those. So Tano's ready to go. He'll be in the equation this week, and hopefully for his sake, we can get him going this week.
Darren, what do you think of Chase Young's performance yesterday against his old team?
I think Chase has put a couple of really good weeks together in a row. I told you guys I felt like last week was his best game as a Saint. A couple more really big plays in the game yesterday. Naturally, Jaden Daniels gives everybody headaches, not just us with the pass rush. And you look not just what Chase did, but our overall defensive line. I thought was really a bright spot yesterday. So credit to them, credit to BY, credit to Joe in terms of the game plan. Those guys all produced. I mean, certainly Jaden Daniels had some big plays, but at the same time, we really limited him. I thought there were some negative plays there that were big for us, particularly in the second half, and Chase was a big part of that.
How about Cam Jordan? What'd you see from him yesterday?
I've seen Cam doing what he's been doing these last 4 or 5 weeks is kind of stacking a bunch of good games together. Another guy had 2 more sacks, really a couple of really big plays in the game. Huge play down there on the goal line. To limit them to a field goal. That ended up being a major play in the game, really a 4-point play, if you will, because he gets the sack there and we forced them to kick a field goal, and that allowed us to have the opportunity to win, a chance to win the game at the end. So, I've seen a re-energized guy that's out there flying around and having fun. That's what I've seen out of Cam.
Darren, just to specify, you don't want to name like whether or not Spencer would get the chance to take the first snaps in practice on Wednesday while you're waiting for Carr?
No, because we had the extra day, Mike, I'm just going to wait and see here. If we were practicing on Wednesday, like a full practice, I might make that decision a little bit earlier. But because we had the extra day, I'm going to wait till I'm going to give it today and kind of see where Derek's at and then go from there.
How did Spencer review on film after you looked at it, though?
Yeah, listen, in light of the situation, it was obviously a tough decision that I had to make to make the change at halftime. That's never easy because Jake didn't really have that many plays as we kind of talked about post game. But I thought Spencer handled it great. I thought he, provided the spark that we were looking for. Really, I think we have, what do we have? 4 drives there in the second half. We got points on all of them. I believe we got 2 touchdowns, 2 field goals in those drives. And so, really a credit to Spencer and the way he handled it, the whole entire thing. You see his leadership skills come out. He's kind of got that fire in him that he's always had. And, everybody uses that word moxie these days. He definitely has that. He's got that competitive, passionate fire that we all love. And, listen, there's a couple plays I'm sure he'd love to have back. There's a couple of throws he got away with, one in particular, Jawan, that could have been an interception. So we got to be, there's definitely some things to clean up. But I thought the way he operated that final drive, the way we managed the drive, managed the clock, understood the situations, we got the ball clock there, stop the clock there to allow us to have one final play there in regulation, all those little things, not forgetting that this is a guy playing in his 4th game ever. In the NFL. So you take all those factors into consideration and, really impressed with what he did.
Hey, Darren, obviously you're making decisions that are you're trying to win games, but when you got a young player like Jake who, he's been looking forward to this opportunity, like how do you handle delivering that message that he's going to set for the second half? Obviously he's disappointed, he wants to continue the game. So how do you manage that?
Yeah, listen, I think the way Jake handled it was extremely professional. It certainly wasn't happy. None of us would be. None of the players would be. Put yourself in that position. You wouldn't be, and none of us would be excited. And so he was disappointed in the way the first half went, but he handled it. He handled it very professionally. He understood, and to be honest with you, he's there on the sideline. When we're coming off, he's supporting Spencer. Him and Derek are over there. They're all talking, and so I think it was pretty admirable the way he handled the situation. it's a tough call. And I just felt like, as I said to you guys yesterday, what do we have? 1 or 2 first downs in the first half and 0 points. I just felt like at that point we needed something, some type of spark, and Spencer was able to deliver that.
Going back to Cam, what do you attribute to him being re-energized to? Is it BY? Is it what do you kind of think led to that?
You know what, Matt? I think it's a combination of things. I think probably, number one, Cam was disappointed in his playing time earlier in the season. That's kind of been documented. That's not really letting that's no big secret. So I think the fact that he's got more opportunity to play, number one. Obviously we made the change and try to simplify things a little bit. Up front these last 5 games, and that's a credit to everybody. It's a credit to Joe and BY and Mike Hodges and all the guys that are kind of handling, the front 7 and the way we're doing things. You look at our body of work here in the last 5 games, and there's been an improvement there. It just has been. That's tangible. And so I think Cam is a guy that from day one has bought in 100% when we made changes here. Not only in the coaches, but the way we're doing things. I think he's benefiting from the way we've been practicing and a bunch of that stuff. And I think he's benefiting by all of his years of experience, and he's providing a spark for us right now. So it's good to see the old guy in the room kind of providing a spark. And he comes here every day, and you wouldn't know if he was a 2nd-year player or a 15-year guy just by the way he walks around every day. And so. Credit to Cam. Love his energy, love his leadership, love his passion, and I'm very, very proud of him.
Coach, could we get your early thoughts playing the Packers on a Monday night?
Yeah, I mean, listen, that's we all of us that are football fans grew up in my generation and watching Monday Night Football. And we all grew up watching the Green Bay Packers and the legendary Lambeau Field. So to have the opportunity to play on national TV at this time of the year up in Lambeau is an unbelievable opportunity. They're playing great football right now. Matt's got that team playing fantastic. I got a chance to watch a little bit of the game last night. Very, very familiar with a bunch of their coaches. I know Jeff Hafley is a guy that I've known for a long, long time. A tremendous coach. Ton of respect for Jeff. Rich Bisaccia, another guy I've known for a long, long time. A tremendous amount of respect for Rich. Naturally, Matt's always done a great job with their offense. So, listen, we're going to have our hands full. This is going to be a tremendous challenge for us. Not only playing a quality opponent, but playing on the road, playing outdoors, playing at night, playing in the elements, all those things. So, but I can tell you this: by the time the game rolls around, we'll be ready to go, and we'll be excited to play.
Darren, did y'all figure out and adjust to something that the Commanders are doing with their pass rush yesterday? It seemed like there was a big difference between pressure in the first little bit to pressure in the back half of the game.
We had some mental errors in the first half with our pass pro. Not to break it down too extensively, but so there were some miscommunications and some misidentifications and some breakdowns in our pass protection. So that's why it probably looked like they had some free runners there to the quarterback in the first half. Honestly, it was just a matter of identifying the fronts the right way and getting on the right people. Now, we lost some matchups there along the way too in the first half, and so it was probably a little bit of a perfect storm. We didn't start the game off very well offensively, meaning we just had some negative plays, and that was certainly a big part of it. I think second half we kind of settled down. We had better IDs with our mic points and things like that. We targeted better in the pass pro, and that's why we had some more time to throw the football. That was really the biggest adjustment, just really front identification.
And did you feel that the sort of efficiency in the run game looked a little different as that got easier for you too? Like, did that help alleviate some of that pass pressure too?
Yeah, naturally. I mean, anytime you can get both aspects going, it helps. And listen, I thought Kendra, when Alvin went out of the game, I thought Kendra stepped up and had some really good runs. But at the same time, we were blocking, and we were blocking pretty. We were much better than in the second half, just all the way around. It's just run blocking, pass protection, all of it was just the whole second half was, as I said yesterday, was a tale of two halves. And so we looked like the way we operated in the second half was the way we intended on operating the entire game. On that side of the ball, just we just got out to a really slow start, and we dug too big of a hole.
Darren, with you've talked about replacing Taysom in the aggregate, kind of. Is the Cedric Wilson play from yesterday an example of that?
Yeah, what a ball! Huh? I mean, when we practiced that play during the week, he threw a very similar pass, in the practice week, and I was like, man, I don't know if he's going to be able to duplicate. That's about as good of a throw as you can make. I mean, as a wide receiver, and not only did he not only did he duplicate it, I mean, that was a freaking dime. That thing was phenomenal, and as good of a catch as it was by Alvin, it was just as good of a throw. So, I saw Alvin coming open, and I'm sitting there. It seemed like Sed was back there, kind of just patting the ball, waiting forever. And I'm like, in my mind, I'm like, throw it already, will you? But no, what a great play, what a great pass, what a great call, and really that sparked us. I felt like we just needed that first play to kind of get going a little bit and get a little momentum going, and that was it. That was the play we needed. And really the third and 10 conversion to Dante Pettis was another big play. We had a couple of negative plays prior to that, and then Spencer and Dante hooked up for third down conversion, and then we had another positive play, and then here we go, boom. So yeah, but hats off to Cedric. What a great job.
Hey Darren, when you call on like Cedric to make that play, I mean, are you like you ask who all played quarterback in high school, or how do you just kind of figure out like which guys can do that?
If I'm not mistaken, I think Ced might be like 6 for 6 right now in his career. Yeah, we know kind of throughout the building guys that have played and had thrown the ball before in their past, whether it's high school or college or whatever. Our scouting department does a great job with that, and we all know. So Ced's got a little bit of background there. I always bust the chops because there's an old fake that he ran in the Cowboys, which was a punt fake, and he's one of the gunners, and he kind of came around on like a reverse, and he had like the option to throw it, and the punter was wide open. He didn't throw it. He kept the ball, and he got tackled before the sticks. I'm like, should have thrown it to the punter. I mean, what are you doing? So we've watched that play before, but no, yeah, we knew Ced's got that background, little high school quarterback in him. Obviously, Ced's from a football family, but yeah, gosh, what a great play.
Is Cedric in contention for starting Monday in Green Bay?
At this point, everybody is. You're not going to let this one go, are you, Mike?
I'm
You're
just
going to
kidding.
keep.
Just kidding.
So, listen, at this point, I might be in contention. Everybody, right? So,
Do you have any thoughts on what happened with the clock at the end of the game yesterday?
at the end of the game,
Yeah, the way the team.
yeah, I do. I mean, naturally, I saw what happened. I don't know why they stopped it. I went back. I got to be honest with you, I didn't, because I was so intent on getting the ball clocked and the clock stopped. I didn't realize that it happened live. And then when I was told about it and went back and watched it, after going back and watching them, I said to myself, "Hey, did we get away with one here?" I went back and watched it. In my opinion, we still would have got the ball clocked probably with 1 second. I went back and watched the live version of it. It's probably just under 3 seconds of time. Spencer had a great awareness. He was looking up at the game clock. I'm kind of watching him. I thought we would have got the clock thing probably snapped a second earlier if we needed to. So I still think we would have got that last play off, but I can't speak for why they stopped the clock. I have no idea.
Have you heard any further explanation of the calls that you sort of contested yesterday?
I have not. You can go watch, everybody on here can go watch the Peyton Turner one and make a determination for themselves if that's a personal foul, 15 yards for a hit on a defenseless player in the head neck area. You guys can all make your own judgments on that. And I have not heard about the third quarter clock situation, we'll call it.
Yeah, on the running game, just to follow up, you mentioned earlier it was better in the second half, but looking at the last 2 weeks, 92 yards or fewer as a team, is that more a situational statistic, or has the offense gone a little more away from the run or not functioned as well as you would have liked?
Well, I think there's two different things there, Brett. I think the first thing is we didn't run the ball very well. We didn't block the perimeter in the Giants game very well overall. And so we had too many negative plays. So those negative plays kind of piled onto our running stats, and we just didn't have a good day running the football against the Giants, period, the end. This past week, we dig a hole, and now we have to battle back, and now you have to get a little bit more pass oriented. And so not that you abandon the run game, but now it just changes the way they're playing against you, and it just changes the whole dynamic. So when you get off track or off schedule, if you will, I think that sometimes the statistics can get a little bit skewed. With that being said, I thought we did a really nice job of running the ball in the 2 minute at the end, because they were obviously playing us in more pass defense, and we had a couple nice runs there to Kendra. So there was some balance there. But overall, no, we didn't have many plays at all in the first half. So the running game was a little bit non-existent. Started getting it going a little bit, but that's typically not how we want to play. And I hear what you're saying. We haven't run the ball very well these last two games overall. I would agree with that statement. But at the same time, it's a little bit circumstantial as well. All right. All good. All right. Appreciate you guys. Thank you.
Thank you, Coach.
Thanks, Darren.